Greetings YouTube, Geezer here. Taking a look at the new god Ravana. Just came out today with the new patch. It says Ravana, but as is typical with Hindu culture, you do not pronounce the last A on a name that ends with A. It's just a sign of respect. Don't know much about it, but I do know that. So anyhow, his kit, Chain of Blows is passive. You know, basically if you just hitting stuff, you build stacks, and anything in excess of 6 stacks is kind of pointless because at 6 stacks you get a 60% bonus to the damage of his number 1, which is a very small cone ability that does decent damage with a short cooldown, and it has a small slow. The low cooldown is about the only saving grace on this. I mean, it's essentially just melee range, just for some extra damage, and it really doesn't hit for any more than like an auto attack might, so it's just kind of a mana sink in my opinion, except for the slow is the only kind of real benefit from it if you're chasing somebody down. Why do I keep pressing that? Overhead kick. This is a once again, you know, I'm not real impressed with this ability. The only thing, the utility from it is you do get a split second of invulnerability. So when you're up in the air right there, 0.75 seconds, you're invulnerable to damage. So you could potentially use this as a kind of an Aegis type ability. Once again, the damage that it does is whatever, about 250. Or 350 rather, at full build level 20, before any kind of mitigation. So then his number 3, 10-hand Shadow Fist, basically just sends damage in a line. Oh my god. It does root a first god. If it hits a god, it will root them for 0.8 seconds. Once again, not very impressive to me. It does have a heal component to it of 20.5% at max rank. So it's lifesteal basically from one attack. And this one attack does even less than his number 2. In the scaling, it does it does the least of any of his abilities basically, except for his ult, oddly enough. So his ult, Mystic Rush, you run up to it's a lot like Sun Wukong's bull form. So you dash forward, except it doesn't go nearly as far as Sun Wukong. You kind of dash forward. You select a target, just like you would like a Nemesis ult or something, and then you kind of jump towards them. Anybody who gets in your way, it'll knock them out of the way. It's just a knock up. There's just nothing. It just kind of knocks them out of the way, just like Sun Wukong. The thing on it is that the god that you selected does full damage to you, but you have kind of a link to them. They're the only ones who do full damage to you, so you got 5 seconds at max rank, where any other gods that do damage to you have a 40% damage reduction. So maybe in team fights or whatever, that would be pretty useful, but it's only a damage reduction to you, so it doesn't have a lot of team fight utility. Adds some survivability for you, but the range on it's really short. You don't get, you don't do very much damage. The person that you link to still does full damage to you, and I don't know. I personally, like, this guy feels a lot like Mercury, but without any kind of like CC, or without like the huge utility of his ult, where you can kind of go all the way across the map. His abilities are very short range. You can see his number 2 there. It's very short, doesn't do a ton of damage. His 3, you get that brief root, and you can see it's very, very brief. And his number 1 is such short range. Like there, I didn't even hit him. I wasn't close enough. It's I don't like him, to be perfectly honest with you. Like I said, a lot like Mercury, but a lot crappier. I don't think he's going to get much play. People play him initially just because he's new, but the people I have seen who played him just got devastated. They got tore up. He doesn't have any kind of like real escape. He doesn't have any, he's just got nothing. I don't know. He's mana intensive, and I don't like him. This is probably the worst god that Hirez has put out in quite some time, which is unfortunate. But it's just my opinion. You may love him, you may do great with him, and if you do, that's more power to you. But if you want to play Ravana, try him out. But it's basically just kind of like a crappy form of Mercury. So that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Build, don't really care. I kind of went with pretty much their overall just kind of standard build recommended just to test it out. And you can see, I mean, they want you to have Transcendence on him just because his mana usage is very heavy. Same with like Jotun's. I mean, I don't understand. This is a relatively low damage kind of output build. His attack speed's pretty high, his base attack speed. But I mean, I still have some attack speed items. He just doesn't hit that hard. His abilities don't do much damage. I don't get it. It's just not impressive whatsoever. It's unfortunate, like I said. And like his ult, you can't use it as any kind of escape. The only thing you can do with it is close on a person. So it's meh. Like I said, I won't be playing him. I want to take a look at him, share my thoughts. And maybe you have some tips or something that may make him more playable. And if so, please share them below. Anyhow, that's it. Ravana, peace crap. Later.